Welcome back to Bills, Bets, and Beers. I got a big surprise for you guys. I got a special guest over here. It's going to be Cincinnati Sports with Strawberry Ice, with the Iceman himself. Let's bring him in here now.
What's going on, Chad? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. We got a big matchup here to cover.
Oh, dude, it's the matchup we unfortunately didn't get to finish on Monday night. So it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of anticipation, and I'm here for it. I cannot wait. I want everybody's best shot. You know, I don't want any officials messing up. I don't want big injuries. I want Bill's best shot, Bengals best shot. Let's go. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Exactly. That's what we're looking for. And to be honest, like I hated seeing another O line go down for you. And I think that's the only reason why the line is even more than 3.
Yeah,
it's 4.5 right now. And I mean, I took 2 lines. I took the Bills over, and I took the total over 40.5, and then I also took the +4 on the Bengals.
Yeah, that's the only issue we have. We went to Super Bowl last year with our crappy offensive line. We fixed it. 2 out of 3 guys we signed got injured, and then Jonah Williams, our left tackle, got injured too. So it doesn't look like they're going to play. I know Lyle Collins is out here for the year. Or cross our fingers, maybe Alex Kappa and Jonah Williams can play, but it's not looking like it. So we're back in the same predicament we were last year. But as Bengals fans, we feel that the offensive line is still better than last year because let's be honest, last year's offensive line was Swiss cheese. You know, he got sacked 9 times in Tennessee. So that's the one thing that worries me. But if we give Jackpot Joey time here, it's going to be good. We'll see.
I know. I'm telling you, the defense. No, I'm not. The defense cannot over pursue, even though he's not a runner. Over pursuing him and giving him a little extra time in the pocket is not going to be good. That's why, I'd rather have them, like, if they're going to go in for it, go in for the kill. Because if you don't, then he goes out and then either got chased down the field, Boyd in the middle. Higgins is everywhere too. And then honestly, the tight end. I love the tight end too.
Yeah, that's my dude. Well, let's not shortchange Josh Allen here. All right, It's not like Josh Allen can't make plays on his own. He's a freaking tight end, as big as a tight end. He'll run your ass over. So that's the thing where the Bengals. We kind of got to make sure that we keep them in the pocket. That's the biggest thing for the Bengals. Is you got to keep Josh in the pocket and don't let him get outside and make plays because he's got a freaking cannon for an arm. So he can go deep, and he wants to go deep. He's this Ayers version of Brett Favre, if you ask me.
Yep. But let's go over the injuries real quick. It's very short. All I got Dane Jackson. He jacked his knee up a little bit in the last game. He's limited practice. If they might be trying to get him in the game, but we do have Benford that came off IR not that long ago. Honestly, if he comes in, it might just be nice to have some depth back there.
Right.
But Elam came up huge, so I'm not too worried about it.
To draft him. you guys got him before we could get him.
And then the only one else on the Bills that I'm really watching is Jordan Phillips.
Right.
And it's just. The Bills work best when they have as much D lineman back there as possible. They keep everyone fresh. They keep everyone light. And that's why they keep being able to get so much pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. It's that rotation. That's what I think the key to defensive lines is you got to have elite pass rushers, but you also have to have the guys behind them that can come in and give them a blow. And you guys have that in Buffalo there with your defensive line. So it's going to be a struggle, again, like you said, with our offensive line right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Your kids are having fun, man.
Yeah, they're walking around in the beds back here. But the only ones I got for you guys, obviously, I didn't see Kappa on the. I wasn't sure. Like, I know he was out all week last week in practice, didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'd been 2 weeks since maybe he was out 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah,
it's about 2. So I'm not sure if he's like I know he didn't participate yesterday. I didn't check the
Nope.
injury report today,
He hasn't
but
practiced
I
today either.
noticed Jonah Williams was also not participating yesterday either.
Yeah, both Alex Kappa and Jonah Williams are day to day. So
Okay, that's
they neither one of them practiced. So
I don't think
keep
they
saying,
want to risk it.
right. I
Just
keep
in
saying.
case.
So you're saying there's a chance. I don't think there's a chance. I don't think they're playing. But who knows? I mean, Alex Kappa tried to play a game on a broken leg before. Jonah Williams, last time he dislocated his kneecap, which is what he did last week. He dislocated his kneecap, but he did it on the other knee this time. So he did earlier in the year, and he came back in the game. So there's a chance. I'm not thinking it's going to happen. I think we're going to have to go with our backups. But again, you never know. They're not on the IR yet. We'll see. I think it's going to be a game time decision. I also think it's more gamesmanship of the Bengals staff going, hey, you never know, they might play. You gotta, you gotta strategize for the chance that our offensive line is, fully intact. But I don't think it's gonna be. We'll see.
So, is there anyone else I left out? Those are the only two players I really saw that might have been the issue.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have Chidobe Awuzie, but he's been out for a while. He's our number one cornerback. He's been out since I want to say October, November, somewhere around there. Everybody else is fairly healthy. I mean, Eli Apple had a stinger. He practiced. Everybody else is fairly healthy as far as this time of year goes, because let's be honest, it's playoffs, man. We played a lot of games. I mean, the Bills played a lot of games last year. The Bengals played a lot of games last year, and then rolling into this year because we're playing 17 games now. So, but both teams are fairly healthy going to this matchup.
Oh, that's really good to see, to be honest. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier, because I do all the divisional, and I did super wild card, going through all the real injuries to watch in a sense. Right. And there wasn't many, even throughout all the games, there was no big key players that. I
think that has a lot to do with the new version of coaching, because I know Marvin Lewis, back in the day when he was a Bengals coach, he said, if you don't practice, you don't play. And now it's more of they don't practice nearly as much as they used to. They still practice, I mean, they gave DJ Reader a day off. Yesterday was his day off. He always gets a day off because DJ Reader gets smashed, every game. It's more of the coaches do a better job of trying to facilitate to their players, of making sure they're healthy, making sure they are game ready, instead of bashing the crap out of them during practice. So I think that's why you're seeing across the board there's more healthy players going into the NFL playoffs this year than normally.
Yeah, there's a lot more vet rests and just not needing to play. I'm not worried seeing Jordan Poyer on the limited participation. Right. He's been on questionable the past 3-4 weeks. And they're giving him limited, so he's still seeing practice, and he's still learning what's going to be going on, the game plan and stuff. But he doesn't have to be doing a full practice. He's not a rookie. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is this time of year they're veterans. I mean, all they need to know is the mental game, the game plan, the install. They get that down. The rest of it, you got to go through some footwork and stuff and different things. But you don't have to practice, shoulder pads every single day. That's how you get through, hopefully, a 20-game season, which if you go to the Super Bowl, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's where I think today's NFL coaches do a lot better job of helping the players stay healthy throughout the entire season.
Yes, definitely. Let's jump into just some quick storylines and matchups. Not this, obviously the elephant in the room is it's the Bills front seven against your guys' O-line. And honestly, I think it goes both ways. I think it's both D lines, because Hubbard's really good. Hendrickson's a beast. You guys have really good players over there. And it's going to be very interesting how everything plays. But I think the only thing that's really the difference now between the two teams is just one has a little bit more beat up of an O-line at this point.
Which is us.
Exactly. I couldn't find much of a difference there. I mean, do you guys is there anyone you're worried about on the Bills D line? Do you Russo's pretty good. He's on a second year. Bills have injuries too. I mean, I would love to see Von Miller out there still, but
that was a
and
big loss for you guys. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
I mean,
was really,
go
I
ahead.
was
Go ahead,
really
sir.
upset not to see Hyde, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Let's be honest. You guys have a very good front seven there, and with our offensive line, yeah, it's concerning to me. For me, that as long as far as the Bengals fans go, as long as Jackpot is upright, I'm very curious to see the Migos, and that's what we call Chase, Boyd, Higgins. We call them Migos versus your secondary. If we can keep Joe upright, I think that's where the game is going to be won or lost. Is the Bills secondary versus the Bengals wide receivers, along with Hayden Hurst, who you mentioned earlier in the podcast. We got a lot of weapons. I mean, now the guys who scare me, Stephon Diggs. I will tell you that right now. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen just doing Josh Allen things. There are certain things that dude does that nobody does. I mean, I love Jackpot Joey, but Josh Allen is bigger, has a stronger arm, and he just does different things that Joe doesn't do. So that's the thing where it's like the matchup between the secondary and the wide receivers and Joe versus Josh. This is going to be huge. That's why I was so excited for the Monday night that we didn't get to play. And it's really cool that this is what I'm predicting. I think, I can't think of his name. DeMar Hamlin. I'm hoping he's going to be at the game. I got a feeling he's going to be out there for the coin flip with you guys. That's going to be really cool to see. And, there's always going to be a bond between Bengals fans and Bills fans. It started back when Andy Dalton and Tyler Boyd, beat the Ravens and got you guys into the playoffs, 7 years ago, how long ago it was. But when you guys were here Monday night, it was awesome because we deal with the Steelers. I call them the Squealers. We deal with the Ratbirds fans, and it's a big rivalry. But you guys were awesome when you guys came here to Cincinnati, and trust me, I want to beat your ass. I want to win, but it's going to be fun. Like if we lose to you guys, it's not going to be awful. I'm like, all right, it's going to be awful. It's going to suck, but at least we'll lose to you guys who I respect your organization and your fans way more than pretty much anybody else in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I see whoever wins. Like, it's really going to be like not a toss up, but it's going to be very. It's not going to be very drastic on who wins this game. It's going to be very close,
Yes.
and as you could say, it could be a coin flip in funny terms, but it's going to be whoever makes.
We don't like coin flips in Cincinnati. We're tired of coin flips.
Whoever makes the least amount of mistakes at this point. Like, it's honestly, that's good. I think it's stupid to say, but the turnover battle is going to be big this game. And that it's going to be whoever can score. If you get in the red zone, you have to score.
Yeah.
There's no, that's why I'm worried with, one of mine, another storyline was just Allen versus himself at this point. Like, he can't put too much weight on his shoulders. Like,
right.
I know he's going to, and you can harp on him all you want, but most players that are very in professional sports like this, they beat themselves up more than anybody. And that's in the back of his mind, but still he wants to make a play. He's a player. He's the one who's not going to back off. That's why people also don't like that, because they go, we can have him beat dead to rights and he'll still make a touchdown pass.
Yep. So are you worried about his red zone interceptions?
Yeah, red zone especially. Red zone interceptions, just because it's happened too much this year. And at a certain point, early in a game, if you're say it's 7-3 and you're going down the field, you're on the 15-yard line, even within 25 yards of it's basically a chip shot for a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to get that touchdown at that early.
Right.
It's different when it happens in times when it's 100% necessary. And if you didn't make that throw, it would be seen as being you're not way too conservative. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking just a little bit of change of pace when it comes to when it's early in the game. You don't absolutely need something. That turnover is going to cause way more turmoil than just getting 3 points and making a 1-point game, than getting a pick, and then if they score, making it a 7-point game.
Yeah, this goes for both quarterbacks. You have to be smart with the football. The football is the most important thing in that game. If you have that possession of that football, you need to keep a hold of that. So don't make silly throws. Don't throw it in a triple coverage. Don't throw it in double coverage. You got a window that's that big. Well, try to get a window that's that big. it's so magnified in the playoffs when you make mistakes that, and especially with these two teams, they're matched up so well. I mean, the difference between winning and losing could be that much, and that's it.
Yep.
It could be. Another concern I have for me is Evan McPherson, shooter. He he can hit 50-yard field goals, but he's missing extra points. You miss an extra point in this game, that could cost you a game. I mean, it's a legit concern.
That's why I'm happy Bass has been pretty spot on. He's only had a couple misses this year, but and honestly, that's the big. I think what's not talked about mostly is when kickers go in other kicker stadiums. Mm-hmm. Whoever's been, especially like with both our fields, you don't have domes. Like it's not like how it's gonna kick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They know when they're in a certain part of the field, at a certain part of the end zone, when you feel that gust, there's another gust somewhere, around where the other gust is, so you know where generally to kick it. So it's little.
I'll talk about this. We had a game earlier this year against the Patriots where there was a certain end zone. Neither one of the kickers could kick anything. The gusts were so big, they both missed multiple field goals and multiple extra points in that same end zone. And we all know about the game, last year in Buffalo where the Patriots played, and I think they threw the ball 3 times because that wind was so big in there. So, I mean, it's a played out of the elements is a big deal.
And it's not going to be – I think I looked at the weather. It's not too gusty. It's going to be like around 35, 38-ish.
There's going to snow or rain.
With snow or rain, probably a mixture of it. So, I mean, but it's like 30% chance. So, if it's going to hit, it's going to hit.
Right.
I think the difference is once that sun goes down,
mm-hmm.
It's going to get chilly. That's
right.
That's when the real weather is going to really start to kick in, and it's going to kick the snow if it is doing anything yet.
Now, another thing to your storyline matchup here for as far as Bengal fans go is the Bengals have not put together 2 solid halves in about 3 weeks now, or maybe longer than that. We either have a crappy first half and come back in the second half, or a great first half and we hold on to the second half. For this game, the Bengals have got to put 2 halves together to beat the Buffalo Bills, because if we don't, we're going to lose.
I think same thing that goes for the Bills too. I mean, they've had halves that Bears game was horrible. I mean, they went into that half losing, and then they come out and they just completely destroy them. If you saw the end score, you wouldn't think it was close at all that game.
Right.
So it's like it's very frustrating at times.
Trust me, I went to the Bengals Buccaneers game down in Florida, and we're getting our ass kicked in the first half, and I'm having to hear all these Buccaneers fans saying, "Oh, Tom Brady's back," which Tom Brady played the best half of the entire year against us. Luckily, we came back and won the game, but that's what we've had to go through the last probably month. It's been a while since we really put together a complete game. Even Monday night, I mean, it wasn't for the we call it the fumble in the jungle. It wasn't for Sam Hubbard doing that, we might have lost that game.
Yeah, that was poor decision by Huntley. If you could fire an NFL player right on the spot, that would have been the time. But then you don't know if Lamar's coming back, so you can't.
Right.
He's the that was a big turning point. That's huge that you were actually at that game. I mean, that when he was running that bat, that must have blown the field up.
I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Honestly, I thought I was gonna have a heart, because those plays don't happen for the Bengals. They always go against us. Bills fan, you guys had the Music City Miracle.
Yep.
All those plays go against our teams. When that actually happened and he scored, I'm literally looking up in the sky going, did that really happen? That's like a euphoric, holy crap. He literally did that. I'm like, it's just, it was an unbelievable feeling. And this game, I don't want this. These teams are too well matched up that I don't want. I mean, I'll take it if it comes to for my team, but I don't want a play like that to happen. I want them mano a mano, and let's go settle on the field. I don't want the refs. I don't want any controversial plays. No injuries. Just let's play and the best team win.
Yep, and I did I think we already touched base a little bit of it, but your guys is like, I mean, you call them the Eagles, but I say the three-headed monsters back there, man. But that's not counting. Like I said, that tight end Hayden Hurst is good.
Yes.
If when I could betting wise against when the Bengals played, I would always, if I had the opportunity, I would always put Hayden Hurst over 3.5 receptions because I know he's going to at least get 5.
Yeah.
Because he's the dump off guy. He's the guy that Burrow dumps off the ball to. Usually like 5-yard dump offs where like everything's done downfield. There's someone open in the middle. I guarantee is Hayden Hurst.
Especially this year because nobody's giving us the deep ball, so he had to check that a lot this year.
Yep. So I mean, I'm worried more about. I think he might come up big if. See, what bothers me sometimes is they don't let Trey White follow people. I think it's just because of the scheme.
Right.
Trey White locks down his side of the field, and then that means the safety on that other side can help him, the other guy, just in case. So I mean, I guess it's a very good strategy, but when you're playing, get people like, I mean, that's not much you could do with Chase, Higgins, and Boyd out there.
I mean, to me, I'm a little biased. I think it's the best wide receiver trio in the game. I mean, people can argue with me. That's fine. Whatever. I'm a Bengals fan. Of course, I'm going to say that. But getting back to Hayden Hurst, on your bets, I always like taking Hayden Hurst anytime touchdown. Now, he hasn't scored as many as I thought he would because I thought he'd be a bigger threat in the red zone because exactly what you just said, the checkdowns or whatever. But Hayden Hurst has been a huge addition to our team. I mean, honestly, when we lost C.J. Uzomah, I was like, oh, man, because he was a fan favorite and everything. But once you got Hayden, to be honest, I never heard of him before. And then I started looking to his stats and how big and strong and what he can do. I'm like, dude, he might be an upgrade. And actually, he's been an upgrade to this offense, which was already pretty good. But the thing is, people always talk about our offense. Our defense is really freaking good. And that's one thing that as a Bengals fan drives me nuts, that our defense still doesn't seem like it gets the respect that it deserves as far as good as it is.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you guys have a good defense, Joe. I mean, your linebacker core is good. It's not bad. Then you have, I think just what people what's lacks in a sense is the cornerbacks just because of the injuries you guys had this year.
Mm-hmm.
But
we got Eli Apple that he could be really good, and then he gives up a freaking 40-yard touchdown to the freaking Ravens.
And that rookie too. It was a rookie or the second year that's been doing good over there on the other side, right?
Cam Taylor-Britt. Yeah, he's another way. He's a rookie. He can make great plays, and then he can make rookie plays, but he's going to be a good one.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you got a decent back there, but so just let's just roll into the Bills wide receivers versus you guys' secondary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So most players how they try to face the Bills because Diggs is massive. He's going to get at least the passes thrown towards him more. Oh, yeah. So people try to blanket him.
Mm-hmm.
And then because Gabe Davis has not been showing up as much throughout the regular season, he didn't show up that much.
Right.
He had his spurts of games where he did, but he had a lot of drops and things were going wrong. Then you have the middle like McKenzie and I like Shakir. I've always liked Shakir. He's coming out. He came out to his shell last game. I think and then we have Beasley out there now and all that stuff. But when you blanket, with your guys' defense, do they like to blanket? Do they like to follow? Would they put someone one-on-one on him? Or would they – I'm not sure what kind of – I don't follow the Bengals enough to know if you guys do a more of a zone or man coverages. I know you guys – they change it per team, but –
Right. That's the thing is I can't answer that because, like you said, I call him Ludini. Lou Anarumo changes it. But, I mean, if we had Chidobe Awuzie still, I think he would be on – my personal opinion, I think he'd be on Stephon Diggs. But we don't have him. So I honestly think it changes drive to drive, play to play because Lou dials up different stuff. And I always say we have a defense an amoeba defense or a morphing defense where – whatever you guys do, that's what they try to take away from you. So I can see them doing the blanket coverage, double cover, stuff like that. But I don't with Lou, you don't know what he's going to do, and that's the interesting part for me. Is I can't sit there and go, okay, Stephon Diggs, we're going to definitely double cover him. We might not. we might do it one play, we might not do it another play. I don't know. It's very interesting of how Lou does it.
Yeah, because I think I know the Bills wide receiver core and it's not as potent as your guys' is because you have more yards per.
Yeah,
You
but
have
you guys, it's not like you guys have good wide receivers.
no, I'm
Let's
not
not.
saying like you have that.
Yeah.
You have that extra individual. Like you have the Higgins and the Chase, and then you have Boyd, which not many people. Not that they don't know about him, but he's
Boyd
not
doesn't get
as
enough credit. I'll give you that.
yeah, he's not as recognized. But he
But
gets
your
a
tight
lot
end
of
is
yards.
pretty damn good too. I mean, let's put that out there. You have a good tight end too. You're talking about Hayden Hurst. Your tight end's not
Oh,
bad. He was on my fantasy team, so he got me some points.
yeah, I love our tight end Knox. I mean, he definitely had a quiet first half of the year. I think it was kind of the scheme based of it that kind of happened, but
Right.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how these teams face each other. That's why I say it's gonna be high scoring because I think both offenses are they're too hard to stop in a sense. You can't stop them from scoring. These
Dude,
are the
we might have
teams
scored
don't.
50 points, to combine to that Monday night game. The way that game started, to be honest.
Yep. Exactly. So it's like you have to look at it like it's going to be whoever can outscore the other team. There's no real stopping each of these teams. So I think it's just going to be the defenses are going to do their job. They're going to get, I think each defense should get like probably a weird takeaway, either like a mistake here, a fumble there, something, but it's going to be well evenly matched. And it's going to come down to either who has the ball last or who can make the last stop.
Yeah, it could come down to the Chiefs Bills game last year. It could be. I could totally see that happening. It could be just like who has the ball last. I mean, there's people have tweeted out there that their prediction is going to go into overtime, which I could totally see that too. I mean, which I'm here for. I want the smoke. I want all of it. I want the best game we can get.
Yep, and I'm all for whoever wins this game. Whoever wins, as long as they beat the Chiefs, I'll be damn happy. Like that'll make if the Bills lose, that'll make my day next week if the Bengals win. Because my buddy's a Bengals fan. Like it's funny because people are like, oh, why are all the games? And I think because we play you guys next year too, and it's in the Bengals territory again, like during the regular season. Right. But it's like people always complain, why are the Chiefs in other games like away from us? It's like it's because we faced them too often before in the regular season. Like
right.
It all switches up throughout the years.
Yeah, they want to save those marquee matchups.
I do want to go down to that game though.
I would love to go to that game. It ain't gonna happen.
No, like I would love next year. I might make a trip down. See if my buddy wants to make a trip down to the Bengals Stadium for the Bills Bengals. And
absolutely.
Because he went down there. He went down for the first game of the year for you guys.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he goes. I got my money's worth because damn, that was a long ass game. But
it was.
Like
it definitely was. So you guys, do you ever follow Glenn or Joe Goodberry? Do you ever follow them on Twitter?
No, I have not.
Well, they're both from New York, and Joe, is a Bengals fan, and Glenn is a Buffalo fan. So they both came down. They're brothers, and so they came down to the game Monday night, and we got to hang out with them. They're a really good follow. I mean, especially Glenn's a Bills fan, so all your Bills fans, you want to follow him. If you're a Bengals fan, you should know who Joe Goodberry is. But they're awesome to follow. And like I said, if you come down next year, hit me up. We'll hook you up with some tailgates. We're not going to go through tables, but we're going to have a good time.
Oh, I'm too I may be only 30, but I'm not going through tables. I didn't go to Bills games early enough to go through a table. Let's just say that I was over West Coast doing my own stuff. But
yeah, how did that tradition start anyway?
What was that?
How did that tradition start anyway?
I don't know. I think they must have been just going crazy at the tailgate, and someone eventually jumped off because it's weird. If you ever been to the Bills Stadium, it's not like any other stadium really around.
Yeah.
Most stadiums don't have the tailgating area that the Bills do.
Right.
It's literally all parking lots around you.
Yeah.
So it's like the fans can go a little bit crazier than pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think some guy probably jumped off a truck into it or something, and it just started a whole rally. I think all that stuff started. It was after the Super Bowl era, or I believe it was. I think it was kind of just when everything was really crap going straight for the Bills. That it was just something to kill the time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, Bills Mafia is awesome though, dude. I love Bills Mafia.
But yeah, let's. I got another little segment here. Needs to show up. This is a player that is has to show up. I got one per team. I'll choose. I got one for the Bills and Bengals. If you want to choose, blood for each one you can. I'm gonna say I'm not, and it can't be quarterback because that's too obvious. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, the quarterback has to show up, but no. I'm gonna go Gabe Davis, only because he is a big dude.
Right.
And when he is on his prime, he is a great wide receiver too. And I think we're going to need that because whatever you guys do to Diggs, you're going to try to erase him in a sense.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And instead of forcing balls that way, I'd rather have Gabe Davis just go off. Like last week, which is crazy, Diggs went for 114 and Davis went for 113. The fact that they hit their numbers on the back of their jerseys at the end of the 100 mark, I thought was pretty wild. But it's just they both went off, which was great, and we needed that even to win that game because the offense was giving the ball away too much. But we have to have another big game from him because someone else has to show up on that wide receiver court. It can't just be Diggs because if it is, Allen's going to be pushing the ball too much towards him, and that's going to cause – you guys are smart. You guys are good at taking takeaways too. So if they notice that pattern, they're going to go after it. Right. And they're going to be watching that ball like a hawk, waiting to jump it. So
I got one for the Bengals, and it's one who's been ticked off about the whole coin flip and the neutral site thing and all that stuff, but it's Joe Mixon. We have to be able to try to get a running game. We've been talking nonstop about, the Migos versus Buffalo's DBs, but we have to get some kind of running game going because our running game has been so hit and miss this year. And Mixon's went off and scored 5 touchdowns. That was against the Carolina Panthers, so take that for what it's worth. Yeah. But we have got to get something out of it to just give Buffalo something else instead of just pin their ears back and go after Joe. So
you know what's funny? That was my exact person for the Bengals was Joe Mixon. And I say that because if he doesn't do much, which he's had games where a lot of games where he hasn't, which is surprising. It makes you guys one-dimensional. Right. And that's the one thing I hate about the Bills sometimes is they shy away from the run so much that if you're covering good enough back there, there really is no threat. With the Bengals, at least, Burrow isn't the guy to run it as much. So you take that aspect out of it, and you're really just saying, like, okay, well, we're going to do as much as we can backfield. Beat us with your running back.
Right.
And if you can't, which I think if Joe Mixon goes off, he has the ability to. I think then we'd obviously change the scheme up a lot. But, I mean, if there's no threat of that, we're just going to be dropping as much people as we can back, probably rushing our normal, like, three or four, and then just having everyone else kind of backfield and kind of watching all the routes instead of even worrying about throwing too much. But I think you guys are going to come out running the ball on the ground just to establish it, just so it can't be over.
I think we are too, yeah. I do. Now, my key for the Bills is I'm just going to say, it's not really a person, but a position, or the defensive line, getting pressure on Joe. You guys get pressure on Joe, and you don't give him time to throw the ball, that's going to make a huge difference. To me, that is and we'll go back again, as we said, the Bills defensive line versus the Bengals offensive line. That's the key for the Bills. They got to get pressure on Joe, because we'll just go back to the Super Bowl last year. Last game or last play of the Super Bowl for the Bengals, Joe couldn't get the ball off, and Jamar Chase is wide open. You get another second and a half, Joe can make that throw and maybe Chase, in the Super Bowl with a game-winning touchdown. So that's to me, if you guys get pressure on Joe where he gets the ball out faster than he wants to, or you make him uncomfortable back there, you guys got a good shot of winning the game. I'll put it to you that way.
I like, my buddy's a Bengals fan. He's like, people think, like the Bengals weren't close to winning that game. They were literally a sack away at the end. a sack away.
We were 2 seconds away from winning that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They, like but people just hating on it, but it's like they were literally a sack away at the end, like literally
Chase
a couple seconds away from winning that game, away from just taking it all. So it's like
or a flag from the referees on Logan Wilson, which is bullcrap. But anyway, we don't need to get into that one.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice we agree with the Bengals one, because I was just like, I gotta see Joe Mixon out there, because if he's not showing up, everyone, it's gonna be one dimensional. And I know, like, at least I feel like most Bengals fans, they're definitely more pro passing. I guarantee it. With you guys' wide receiver core, it's like you don't need a great running back to win,
right?
But you need some production to take the pressure away from, at least give them a second in the beginning to be like, oh, it's not a run.
Right. At least,
okay, we're ready for it.
Think about it.
Like a split half second, where like that either the linebacker or like the corner on that side goes, oh wait, now I can go help them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something so they can at least think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of disrupt it.
I think the Bengals are going on more with our offensive line issues. I think it's going to be more up the middle runs behind Ted Karras and I almost said Alex Kappa, but Sharping and Cordell Volson. I think that's going to be more of we're not going to. I don't think we're going to do a whole lot of outside runs. Maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely not to the left side. Maybe to the right side with Adeniji and Sharping, but I think a lot of the runs are going to be right up the middle with the veterans that we have there. The guys have, like Max Sharping is he's made a one start for the Bengals, but he's a veteran player, so he's made a couple playoff starts, so that one we're not as worried about. So, and Ted Karras has been an unbelievable addition to us. So I can see us when we run the ball, I think it's going to be a lot more up the middle.
Oh, I mean, and honestly, that's where I'm not saying it's weak there for the Bills, but that's where most of those runs go off. And I think it's like a little bit of over pursuing in a sense, where they're going for the kill sometimes. And it usually happens when they're facing a team that doesn't run as often. You know, it's just like they're going for the kill, and there's usually one guy there, and then tackling's an issue. Like they either don't wrap up properly or something, but Edmonds has been. I mean, that hit Edmonds at last game was loud.
Oh, dude, we literally we were at the tailgate before our game, and we had big ass TV screens watching that game. I'm like, ooh,
dude.
Damn! Woo!
That was like the biggest, cleanest hit. So like, but if we can, especially I think tackling's been an issue sometimes with. I feel like even that short bit of that first game, the Week 17 game, tackling just was not going well for the Bills to start off.
Right.
There was a lot of broken tackles where those short passes were going for like 15 plus yards.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of yards you have to catch on that. So, which I mean, I hope it happens again, but I don't know. It's when you get in the playoffs, it's every little thing counts. So everything's so magnified even more when you miss a tackle and the guy goes off for 10 yards more than he would have. So I mean, all those things matter in the games like this, especially with two teams that are as evenly matched as the Bengals and the Bills are. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we felt as Bengals fans at the beginning of the year, the AFC is coming down to three teams: the Bengals, the Bills, and the Chiefs. Those are the three teams. That's where we're at. We gotta, for us, if we're gonna go to the Super Bowl, we gotta go through the Bills. We gotta go through Kansas City to win it. And the thing is, I don't know, you guys. I'm sick and tired of hearing about this. I call them the Sucky Niners. I'm sick and tired of hearing how great they are. They haven't played anybody. I think they come and play either the Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals, they're going to lose. That's just my opinion. If that's who gets to them in the Super Bowl, because I hate to say it, but I think the Sucky Niners are going to go, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's to see how Jalen Hurts plays in postseason this time around, and then as well as, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with NFC at this point. Like the Cowboys, I mean, they're hot and cold. It's going to be very interesting, that 49ers game, I think.
I mean, trust me,
That's gonna.
I'll be a big Cowboys fan because I hate the 49ers. 'Cause that's why I call them the Suck Uniters. They beat us twice in the Super Bowl, so I hate them. So
No, I don't. I don't blame you. And I think it'd be nice to get like I mean, get it. Not to see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, but to see them lose in the Super Bowl. That'd be nice to see.
for you guys,
I
yeah,
mean,
because I remember
in this
I
era,
remember
like what the last time they were in the Super Bowl was pretty much against us. Okay, so
twice, wasn't it? Yeah, that was back to back. Yeah, trust me,
so
I was
I mean,
rooting for you guys.
yeah. So I wouldn't be worried about them, but I would say for the AFC East. One second. But for at least for me, like the NFC East, I look through like all the Super Bowls and stuff, like to deal with the AFC East going into it. It's I hate to say it, but it seems like the NFC East always has the AFC East number in the Super Bowls. You look at the Giants with Tom Brady. No, for some reason they just always had their number.
All right.
I mean, and the Bills lost to
Giants,
Washington.
Eagles, both of them. Giants and the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. Then the Bills lost when they went through. They lost to the Washington, and then Cowboys and everything. It's like, and Giants. It's like It's like they're just bad. We're just bad against them in the Super Bowl. I just want to kill that narrative if we get that happens. That'd be nice to do. That'd be nice just to go in there and kill that.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. It is weird how that works out. Because I mean, the funny thing about the NFC last year, we're calling it the NFC least. That was just a year ago. Now you got the Eagles and the Cowboys and everything, and they're not only say juggernauts. I mean, hell, the Eagles have probably been the best team, my opinion, all year in the NFC. Now everybody keeps going over to 49ers, but consistently it's been the Eagles. I mean, as far as the NFC goes, but the East is the Eagles. It is very frustrating that they always end up winning for some dumb reason. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm not rambling, but let's go into this opposing players to watch out for.
All right.
I just obviously you went through the ones that have to show up. This is more of like not like almost like the dark horse player. Like you don't think too much of them, but they do make big plays. Where like they are doing stuff on the field that you're not looking for.
So we're not talking about Jamar Chase or Stephon Diggs.
No, I'm talking players that like they're gonna. They not that they slowly kill you, but they eventually do. Like where they come into a game.
I got you. Go ahead.
For me, the Bills is gonna be Dawson Knox.
Right. Yep.
Because
I was saying it for the Bills. We're right here, dude.
Like Dawson Knox, he's gonna be in that middle. And if Gabe Davis starts going off and Diggs, they're getting their catches, that middle is gonna be open. It's either gonna be Shakir. I mean, obviously Beasley's got a couple catches, but Knox has more of like a connection with Allen than Beasley now and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's just something to look at.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting if they bring up John Brown in this game. Because if they do have another speed boy back out there that they could kind of like more of a distraction in a sense, kind of bring him away from him. But Knox is that. And for the Bengals, for me, I had Tyler Boyd. I mean, that's all on the offensive side. But if I went defensive for the Bengals, I would go. I would say Hendrickson, only because he doesn't get. Yes, he's a big player for you guys, but I don't think he gets in the limelight as much as like Hubbard and all them. I feel like
he has as many sacks this year as he had last year.
But he's been getting a lot of tackles. I had him in fantasy as my defensive player, and he's been getting a lot of tackles.
He's got a broken wrist, right?
Oh yeah, he's a club on now. He's got a club. I saw him catch that interception with a club on.
Right, I know.
There you go.
We call lights out Trey. He's crazy, dude.
But like, it's just I see that would be my defensive one, just because I just see him like you're gonna be worried about Sam Hubbard on that line, and then when he's there too, and he comes up and blitzes and all that stuff, he's gonna be he wreaks havoc. That's his job. Even with a club, he'll wreak havoc. You know what I mean? Like
the club.
Yeah, exactly. He can legally hit you in the helmet with the club.
Exactly. Now for me, you took mine, Dawson Knox. I think that, like I said, I love the guy. I had him on my fantasy team, so I think he's the the diamond in the rough or opposing players to watch as far as offense goes. Defensively for the Bills, I'm going to put it this way because I already kind of talked about getting pressure on Joe. But whoever is covering Chase, that's the one. However they do it, that's the one for the Bills that they have to try to. I don't think you can stop Chase. Slow down at least as far as that goes. And I'm not sure how the Bills are going to play that. But for the Bengals, offensively, I'm gonna go tight end again. You talk about Hayden Hurst. I think he's the guy that you should watch out for. I'm still waiting for, we call it the Hayden Hurst game, where he's going to come out and he's going to have like 2 touchdowns and like, I don't know, like 70-something yards or something. We're still kind of waiting for that to happen. But those are the keys to, or opposing players to watch for me, is you got to figure out who I don't know, like I said, I don't know who's going to cover Chase. Shutting Chase down and, for the Bengals trying to get Hayden Hurst off. There's so many. I mean, honestly, there's so many guys to choose from for both these teams. It's hard to narrow it down, to be honest. But both these teams are extremely talented, offensively and defensively. So it's really comes down. It's going to come down to who makes the play at the time. Being in the right place at the right time and making that play.
Well, I definitely see that. I mean. Personally, I think for the Bills, I don't think they're good. I think it might be Elam. He's a rookie. I don't think they throw Elam on him, but I think Trey's going to stay to his side. But Chase goes in the slot too.
Chase goes everywhere. Yeah, he put a slot, put him wide, put him out everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, the good thing is we have a good slot corner too, Teron Johnson. Right. Mm-hmm. So I mean, but he definitely can make mistakes, especially against a guy like Chase. So, and. I think I want to see Elam on the other side, personally, of Trey, because he's a big physical guy. He can at least get in. At least I know Jamar's he's physical too. He's not giant, but he's still a physical guy.
He played running back in high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you give him a quick bump at the beginning, and Elam's quick too, I think that'd be nice to see. Just a quick little to try to do something to disrupt a quick burst off with him. Right. Because if he bursts off without context,
you got to somehow knock Chase off the timing somehow. That's however you do it legally. Obviously, you got to figure out how to knock him off his timing, because him and Joe Burrow have this timing and this they just know each other in their head. All right, because I've seen them so many times where Joe throws the ball. I've seen you probably see it with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
Yeah,
where they throw the ball and the wide receiver hadn't even turned their head yet, and the ball is right there. That's happened so many times. I have no idea how they do that. That's a special skill that elite NFL players have that I don't have. But that's the thing, is if you're gonna knock them off their timing, that's you have to do that against Chase, because if you don't, he's gonna kill you. I mean, honestly.
Well, I don't want to see Trey White off 7 yards from him. You know what I mean? I want to see him. I want to see him in his face to start off. And just kind of bump it a little bit, and don't get too because sometimes Trey White does that where he just or Dane Jackson. I've seen him do it a lot too.
But don't get beat though. Don't get beat, because Jamar.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You want to get beat, but you give him that that little bump, then you try to go up to him, and then he just has to make a double move, and he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, Stephon Diggs can do the same thing. So I mean, like I said, I'm not just on here talking about how great my team is. I mean, Stephon Diggs can do the exact same thing. These great wide receivers, you say you want to press them, great, but then they can go and they're gone, and you're like, oh crap, where'd they go?
Exactly.
and then you back off of them, and then they're like, and then oh, you gotta go catch them. So it's a very unique matchup that it's gonna be fun to watch.
But yeah, definitely good things there. Last little thing I got going, and I got head here for a little bit of time. Hot takes. Just like I said this last week. I said this last time they faced the Bengals. I know the running. You guys have a good run defense, and that's you're not going to run against them. I want to see
DJ Reader.
I know he's good. You guys, it's good, and I think but the Bills are going to have to get a run game going. I want to see James Cook get his first 100-yard game.
Ooh, there you go.
I want to see a 100-yard game, And if they're doing that, I'll give them 2 touchdowns. Because I think we're going to get passes, and we're going to get close to that end zone. And I think when we get close to that end zone, you guys are going to be thinking pass. Because that's all we damn do in the red zone is pass the ball.
Right.
I feel like if we throw a couple runs out there, or even a quick screen pass out to Cook, we can take advantage in a sense. Instead of go looking for like a Gabe Davis, Knox, or something sliding across the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
Personally. But and then it's not really then I got like the Bills D that they're gonna sack. I think they're gonna get Burrow sacked at least 5-6 times. Like this is a hot take. It's probably not gonna happen. Bills haven't had a big game like that really all year. But this would be the game for it to happen. That's why they're hot takes, because if they happen, they happen. But exactly. That's it for me though.
Well, I got a hot take for you. So Josh Allen got sacked 7 times. And we got our defensive line completely healthy. I mean, like I said, Trey Henderson has a broken wrist, but he's still balling out. Our backup guys are really starting to step up. My hot take is the Bengals are going to sack Josh Allen 7, 8 times at least. We're going to get to him. That's going to be a big difference for us. Joe Mixon's going to go off. I'm not going to say he's going to get 100, but if he gets 70, if Joe Mixon gets 70, dude, this game's over. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, that's where I'm at. I get hot takes. Probably won't happen. We'll see what happens.
You know what the sad part is with that hot take for Mixon? You look on the betting on that, I guarantee you to get minus 110, you're looking at, it's going to say like 79.5.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. You're getting like
over
71, and it's like, and that's it.
It's gonna be over under like 70 something yards, and it's like, when's the last time he hit that? Where are these old margins coming from?
Right. Exactly.
And then you have other people that have been running so well, and like ETN at like 60 plus for like games. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like weird how they put those odds in there.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's I think we had a good little talk here. You want to like plug anything or?
Sure, you can check me out. I mean, this is a Bills podcast, but if you guys are interested, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. If you're following me, and hopefully I'm gonna put this on my channel too. Make sure you go follow this guy right here because he does a great job. Yeah, so make sure you check him out too. And I appreciate you having me on. And would you be interested in coming on tomorrow's show?
Yeah, I can come on. I can do that.
We do it live at 5:30. It'll be me and a whole bunch of Bengals fans. We'll be nice to you though.
Yeah, that's fine. I can come on. On and do that. I have it's perfect time. I get home at I work at a school, so I get off at like 3:30. I get home by 4. So it's like have some time to get some dinner ready, and
there you go.
And I'll keep the Bengals Bills
preview.
Exactly. I try to keep my Rugrats a little quieter this time. But you can't do much.
Hey, either way, Chan, I appreciate you having me on the show. This has been a lot of fun. I do appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely. Shoot me a link, man. I'll definitely be able to. I should be able to jump in at least for a little bit to talk to you guys.
Yeah, I'll DM you on Twitter, brother.
Okay, it was nice talking to you, man.
You too, brother. Hey, good day.
Go Bills. Well, yeah, that was my hopefully getting to know him a little bit more after the Bills and Bengals are going to be having some battles in the next year, so nice to have some contacts. So it'd be cool to see him next year if we go down to that Bengals game. That was Cincinnati Sports with Strawberry Ice, the Iceman. Huge guy. I love talking with him. Just reached out to him. He's a lot more subs than me, and it was just nice to be able to get someone on and talk some football. But yeah, get the right sponsors real quick. I got my wife's Instagram account. It's her business page. It's Crochet with Elisha. It's Crochet WITHELISHA. She does hats, mittens, gloves, cardigans, anything you could think of, beer koozies, even clothes like some shirts, bikini tops, bottoms. Give her a DM if you see anything you'd like. She makes even like nice little cute dolls and stuff like that. So definitely send her a message what you want. She'll reach back out to you. Then I also got my buddy over here, Mr. Nasty Time, Evan. He joined me in the last Bengals one. If you probably saw his face then. We do a lot of podcasts. he does podcasts with like about arm wrestling. Then he does MMA because he's been doing MMA for 15 years, doing bets and stuff like that. And he also does a lot of gaming on there. Warzone 2.0. He was doing that Mass Effect collection game, and he's also been doing a lot of Madden franchise stuff. So go check him out. That's gonna be it for me. Should be jumping. I'll probably be going on Iceman's channel tomorrow, doing some stuff on there, and I'll be doing divisional weekend same game parlays, going through the Bills Bengals post game recap, and also after that doing AFC and NFC championship weekend preview reaction. But that's gonna be it for me. Go Bills, and I'm out.